Hi there, it's Jacquie. Welcome to another edition of From the Table. This one is a really great one that I've been meaning to do for a while, and it's really simple. And it's probably going to give you some room to have a think about things. Now, there are lots of people, and I have seen many of them in my clinic who are perhaps really struggling with being able to see clearly their future path. Now, that could mean quite a few things. Maybe they find themselves in a situation, whether it be at home or within a friendship or at work, and there's some type of issue or situation, conflict going on. And quite often what they'll say to me is that I can't figure out what it is that I need to do. I can't see what I need to do, right? Another really great one that people often mention is looking at this concept of being able to see into the future. Like, what do I want to do with myself? What do I want to do further down in life? Where do I want to be? How do I want that to look? So basically, what's the right path for me? What's the right direction? So you might be starting to pick up that there's a bit of a theme to this week's edition, where we're talking a lot that encompasses a sense of sight. There are lots of people that come to me and they've had past things happen in their life. It could be a breakdown of a marriage. It could be a conflict that they got into with a friend that never resolved. It could be an argument that generated between, them and a business or a provider or something like that got out of hand. And we know that for it to not come around and smack you in the face, just in a different way, right? So when we don't learn what there is to learn from that experience, when we don't take the wisdom from an experience and integrate it deeply as knowing, it actually will come up again. But it will come up again usually as a different way. Similar theme, different way. So this ability to be able to look at something from hindsight perspective. So it's happened, we're thinking about it now. There are so many people that have this inability, and it can be so frustrating, this inability to be able to look back on something and to be able to see it from all these different perspectives and to be able to see it clearly, holographically, multidimensionally, 360 degrees. And that's so important to be able to see it from different perspectives, because that's very often where some of your deep learning comes from. So hindsight is a very, very important tool to be able to do easily and efficiently. Just the same as insight is, the ability to be able to have some insight into a situation, into a particular event that's unfolding, into somebody's behaviour. And I tell you what, that has actually been one of the things that I've valued the most as part of my human experience, is this ability for insight, the ability to be able to see into something, especially somebody's behaviour, to be able to understand where is it truly coming from? What is that behaviour? It might be a nasty behaviour, it might be a violent behaviour, it might be an angry behaviour, it might be a fear-driven behaviour, right? But to be able to get insight, to be able to see into that, can totally transform that whole situation, especially for yourself, So what I would like you to realise and consider is that if you are really struggling with the ability to be able to see clearly through something, be able to see your way into the future past something, to be able to know your path, your direction, to be able to know what the next step is, to be able to see that clearly, and a lot of people struggle with that, to be able to look at something in hindsight and take away the gold nuggets from that. You need to look at every single area of your life that has anything to do with clarity, being able to see clearly, right? So let's talk about the windows in your car. Are the windows in your car clean? Are they spot free? Can you look out of them and not have your vision restricted? Because over the years, especially when I was in private practice a lot, doing one-on-one sessions, I would watch clients pull up in their car and their windscreen was probably one of the things that was low on the list of being cared for. And so it would have dirt all over it, and you would just see where the wipers had created this one little tiny window to be able to see out of. Bugs, mud, everything. It might be a metaphor, but it is a powerful metaphor that affects your experience in life. Because when you are in that vehicle and you are driving your car, there is this constant unconscious dialogue going on. So there's a dialogue going on that you're not even aware of. And it will be something like, gosh, I wish I could see clearly, or I can't see out that way, or I can't see out that way, or my vision's restricted by that, or I should clean the windows, you know. So it just constantly is this dialogue that tells you, I can't see clearly. I can't see far enough. Everything's murky, everything's cloudy. And that's the same thing that people will come into clinic and say to me, I just can't see clearly. I don't know what I'm meant to do. I can't see my path. I can't see my journey. Or they'll be talking about, you know, an experience that they've had, and they'll say, I don't know what there is to learn in that for me. I can't see it, right? So really have a good look at the windows in your car, because they reflect your ability to be able to see clearly. Then look at the windows at home, right? Now, I currently live in a house by choice that actually had bars on the windows, and I figured out how to take the bars down, because those bars were so restrictive from a visual perspective, because it sort of really reminded me more of being imprisoned and trapped, that I didn't want any concept of being trapped showing up in my life anywhere. So I actually took them down and I got rid of them, and my windows are clean. So I will, you know, once a month, go around, wipe over all the windows so I can see clearly. You'll be amazed at how wonderful it feels when you can just see clearly, and how lighter your body can feel, and how lighter your mind can feel, and how things can just start to pop into place really quickly, and you can start to get a handle of things and perhaps know future direction, or get some clarity on something that you've been through, okay? If you are actually having some issues with your eyes, perhaps you are one of my many clients, and I must admit I did this a long time ago. If you're one of my many clients who gets the magnifying glasses from the chemist, you know, and uses those to read and do computer work and everything like that, maybe it's time you go and get your eyes tested to really find out what's going on with your eyes, so you can get a pair of little windows for your eyes that enables them to be able to see clearly and do their jobs. So it really is a big deal. Look at all the ways in your life that is preventing you from being able to see clearly, and I would make big changes as soon as you can, okay? And it will help you enormously. So remember, everything that happens within you will have a direct relationship to what your experience is out here, and vice versa. What's going on in your environment, good or perceivably bad, will have a direct and immediate impact on what is going on internally to you. They're one and the same. You can't separate that. That's why when we're dealing with things from a healthcare perspective, we must address the body-mind complex as a complete unit, and also take into account what's going on in somebody's environment, in their life, in their family, from their ancestral lines, everything. Everything relates to what your overall experience of life is. So hopefully this is giving you something to think about, and you might grab out some cleaning stuff and give your windows a bit of a wipe over, especially the car ones. That's a really big one. Okay, I'm going to leave you with it. I would love to know what you think of this week's edition and what your experience is from it, and I look forward to talking to you really soon. Bye for now.